Hi, this is Ariana from Academic Skills. In this short video, we're going to look at how to write an abstract. First, as with all writing tasks, we need to think about the audience or who will read it and the aim. In an academic context, people are often busy and don't have time to read a full paper in detail or attend a conference presentation. They read the abstract to get a quick overview, to evaluate the focus and quality of the study and decide if it's relevant to them. For these reasons, abstracts must be standalone documents. In other words, they aim to provide a complete and concise summary of the aims, methods, results, and conclusions of the study. An abstract reflects the structure of the research paper and generally provides background about the issues being investigated, the aim, the research method, the major findings, any recommendations, and sometimes limitations. The length of an abstract can vary, so it's always best to check the guidelines provided by the journal you're submitting to, the conference you're presenting at, or the brief in the case of a university paper to find out how concise you need to be. Let's look at a sample abstract. Pause the video now, read the text, and identify each of the sections below. Here, we can see the background. Keep this to a minimum. Only tell your reader what they need to know to understand the rationale for your investigation. The aim should be expressed as clearly and precisely as possible. Next, the method. The authors have included the number of participants to give the reader an understanding of the scale of the study. They've chosen to outline the study design and method of analysis. After the method, we see the results. In some cases, these will be very specific. In others, like this example, only a summary of the key findings is included. You can expect further detail in the results and discussion sections of the paper itself. Last, we have the conclusion. Note the use of the word compelling to indicate how confident the authors are in their findings. This abstract doesn't address limitations or recommendations. Limitations help the reader to understand the validity and reliability of the information. For example, they might state that the analysis was based on limited data, or that the study forms a basis from which additional research is needed. Hopefully this example has given you a good idea of the nature of abstracts, and you've noticed that after reading this, you would know exactly what the research paper would contain. So let's sum up with some key tips for writing abstracts. Treat it like a standalone document. It needs to make sense to someone who hasn't read the paper. Make sure it's useful. A good test is to consider if it contains all the information the reader would need to decide whether or not your study is relevant to their needs. Finally, be concise. Remember you're writing for a busy audience. Make your point clearly and quickly. Good luck writing your abstracts. For more tips and advice, to register for workshops or events, or to find out what's happening in academic skills, visit our website.